So, welcome to Tales Tomorrow. I'm Morrow, your storyteller for today, and with me I have some more RPG horror stories. Apologies for lack of videos over the weekend. I was busy playing D&D. I've been having a lot of fun playing with my friends on our own personal D&D server and just running sessions, and oh my god, we got so many people that are just interested in just personal adventures and everything. Enough gushing about that. We gotta get some RPG horror stories for today. Let's get to the story for today. OP Saiyan wannabe derails slice of life game into World War III. Sup? Hey, sup? This is my second story. I already wrote to you one of my D&D horror stories. Thanks for covering it. I realized that I still had an RPG horror story outside of D&D that is way funnier. This is pretty much just funny in-game absurdity. Once again, English is not my first language, so sorry if I mess up. I was sort of an NPC in an unfolding of these events. This is from about 2 to 3 years ago, when I joined an RP group chat whose theme was a royal academy, where every character was the child of kings or other important figures of various nations, and each one of them had a power. So basically My Hero Academia but with royals, in a timeline where apparently every place had monarchy. Despite the weird monarchy thing, I didn't mind the premise because it was meant to be sort of a silly, relaxing slice of life kind of thing, with an academic setting and a sort of sandboxish structure where we could hang out in couples of groups outside of in-game sessions ran by the group mods. Nothing too serious. It also was a free roleplay, so there weren't many rule sets. Actually, there was none outside the requirement of the character creation. People could roleplay in the group at basically every time, which isn't really bad per se. However, where there is a that guy, things can go bad real quick. Oh, I'm interested. Also, in regards to roleplay groups and stuff, feel free to try them out and join them. I was actually thinking of trying that GTA RP stuff. Completely different from like D&D or RPGs or anything, but I thought it'd be kind of fun. I've done roleplaying forever since I kind of left some of the VR chat roleplay groups. Let's go ahead and continue with the story. We got the premise and we have that guy. Let's see how this turns out. The cast. We were on 12 to 16 people, but only few are relevant. French vampire. Named like this because she was the princess of France and had vampiric powers. Basically the victim of it all. The player's only fault, quote-unquote, was having to be absent for a while because of study. I'm honestly so sorry for them. The two mods, also victims. They happened to be offline at the time those events happened, but acted as soon as they could once they got online. Saiyan guy. Honestly, all I remember about this character is that he used the picture of a Saiyan and that he had anger issues. Called me judgmental, but I see that as a red flag. Russian guy. He played a character that was supposed to be a Russian prince. Also had some slight of that guy behavior at first, but was kinda contained until the event started by Saiyan guy made him go full war criminal. Me, completely irrelevant in game, just had a bit of bickering in the end with Saiyan guy. So the story is quite simple. We introduce our characters, we roleplay with them for a while in our really chill academy thing. We make friendships, attend lessons and stuff. All goes well and smooth for a few days until the player of French vampire has to go away for a few days because of study reasons. So he goes to the off-topic group and tells the mods something along the lines of, hey, I got no time at the moment cause I gotta study for some stuff. Can we send my character away for a few days? To which the mods agree and decide that due to being sick, French vampire goes back home for a while. This was no mystery to pretty much everyone in the group, so we go on with our thing. The day after, I go on a group and find that Saiyan guy and Russian guy decided to go to France to visit her. Of course, every person with common sense is wondering why, since the whole reason she's away is because the player can't roleplay her. French vampire kind of had an in-game relationship with the Russian guy, so it kind of made sense that he wanted to visit her, but also we all knew the character was not available to roleplay, so it was just sort of pointless. At this point, I don't really know what to do, so I kind of just sit there until Saiyan guy and Russian guy start looking for French vampire in the castle. They ask the guards and then kill them without warning for the answer. At that point, I ask in the off-topic group why are they doing that, getting no answer other than the sheer confusion of the others that were online. Then Saiyan guy and Russian guy go to the king and queen of France and decide to kill them because apparently they thought French vampire was kidnapped by their own family for no reason. Because we all knew she was busy because her player was studying. I'm assuming this probably happened at night when the moderators were just asleep. The mods are down. Time to start a French Revolution. Again, it is important to say that due to the mods being offline, these guys made this whole thing up by themselves. Well, yeah, of course they did, because like the mods are asleep, they didn't check the offline text. They'll probably just like be in Discord together and just goofing around and be like, hey, wouldn't it be cool to just go to friends, just start stuff, and the mods are asleep, we can do whatever we want. But okay, we got two murder hobos basically killing people and going to France to try to kill the king of France because reasons, I guess. Then Saiyan guy describes about how he destroys the castle, sends a picture of Saiyan, I don't know which one, I don't watch Dragon Ball, and writes something along the lines of, "You'll see this extremely powerful force leaving a trail of blood, death, and destruction on his path as he flies in the sky around the world, landing in Brazil, tired and bruised." At this point, we're all freaking out because while French Vampire is away, someone randomly murdered the family, destroyed their house, and probably burned half of France to ashes. And a bunch of us are talking offline asking, why did they do that? And if they're aware of the fact that we are all royalty because it means this is ground to start World War III. Meanwhile, the Russian guy is just yelling in-game at anyone else who didn't take part in this nonsensical massacre. They're cowards and they should fight like heroes. Fight what? So I go to the off topic and I talk to Saiyan guy saying he basically made this stuff up just to be cool and edgy, which he did because, as I said before, there was no enemy, the mods weren't even there. And he hits me with the most arrogant audio message where he talks about how everyone who's freaking out here is just envious because he made a powerful, well-written, deep character who also had flaws because when he landed in Brazil, he got kind of bruised and they were just mad that he managed to gather so much attention. Oh, while failing to address that he randomly killed the parents of someone's character for no reason when the player was away to study, then justified by saying it was due to his anger issues. Dang it! Don't you hate it when your character casually burns down half of French territory, resulting in a massacre of innocent people just because you got some anger issues? He is claiming he's a well-written character that's so deep and mysterious because he just typed out words, "My character flies into the sky and burns down half of France." Anybody can do that. It's like it's a weird flex, dude. Slice of life genre, I'm not sure if you've ever seen it in an anime or anything else, but slice of life genre is the day-by-day living experience of living the life comfortable, not actually slicing life in half and destroying half of France. Just I'll be honest, these people sound like they lost the plot like years ago. Honestly, I don't think you should have engaged with these people in the first place. Just be like, hey guys, just ignore them. Mods are gonna remove this stuff anyway. At this point, we're all tagging the mods like crazy. After a while, they finally arrive and seeing this absurd thing, they retcon it all for obvious reasons, and Saiyan guy gets all mad and pissed off at them because they ruined his moment. After that, he got the boot. After that, game was sort of chill, but sort of died down because French Vampire reasonably didn't want to play anymore after what happened, and things just got a bit awkward. I think the problem was just setting up a ground rules basically saying no major actions unless the mods are online, and you gotta check with the mods if some major actions are okay, because you gotta make sure they, you know, check through and everything. But y'all should just ignore them. They seem like the kind of people that just really just want attention. They're just a bunch of silly billies that want attention. Thanks for reading. I also sketched/painted Mary since they are around last video, and I kinda liked her design. I also have a little ask. It would be really nice to have reference pictures for your models posted somewhere because that would make you guys easier to draw. And oh my god, look at this! This is a Mary drawn by the amazing Jester. Oh my god, this looks amazing. I showed Mary this, and Mary and I were literally on Discord together chatting and stuff, and she was freaking the fuck out because of how incredible this looks. Thank you once again for doing this. Oh my god, it looks amazing. Links to Jester's social media are down in the description below. Please check him out, give him a follow, give him likes or whatever this. I think it's Instagram. Do Instagram give likes? I think they do. They have an incredible art style. It is so incredibly good. And once again, Jester, thanks so much for submitting your story. It was a fun read, a little bit refreshing, not TTRPG related, but roleplay related. And you know what? I kind of like these sort of roleplay stories. But speaking of TTRPG stories, let's get to the next one, which is heavily about TTRPGs. Let's get to the next story for today. A paid DM that doesn't like questions. Hello, I watch your videos and I like them, so I'll tell you a little horror story that I experienced. Less horror and more of a mix of what the heck and hilarious laughter. This all happened in a TTRPG Discord server of a Spanish platform to make characters and campaigns for D&D and some other system. It was a normal day on the server when someone we'll call Gamer appeared. Gamer was a paid DM that mostly did it in English, as he had streamed his sessions in his own YouTube channel and was looking for Spanish players. He was a paid DM, a thing that isn't popular in the Spanish side of this hobby, but nothing inherently bad with it. However, the red flags would start to show really quickly and end up with him becoming a lockout in that server. To be honest, paid DMing I don't think is popular everywhere out there. I think most places just like not really as popular. If you want to offer DMing as a service, go ahead. I'm not gonna stop you, but like I think most people just kind of run for friends or just for free. But I'm not gonna stop somebody from running a paid DM. Do whatever you want to do. Either way, let's get to the story. First, his YouTube channel that one of the users in the server discovered first. Not only had his sessions, he also had a lot of unedited clips of series of anime of him being badass against what he deemed faked role players. Basically 2 old men that were streaming their one-shots. If you posted a comment in one of his videos not kissing his ass, he would delete it. That and the cringe-worthy design of his banner and describing himself in the channel as a radical role player would become the first red flag. By radical, do you mean like a radical dude serves up? God, my throat hurts. I was doing a lot of DMing over the weekend. I had a really, and I had a goblin character that sounded a little bit like that. Ah, God, I can't do it anymore. I had it, but I don't have it today. But he's kind of like a serfs up dude, kind of a radical, or like a overthrow the kingdom radical. What kind of radical are we talking about? Second, the game he was offering was in a really niche system and a paid game, which isn't really inherently bad. However, he was offering 60 minutes of game time for 15 bucks a session. Wait, like per hour basically? Or like is a session an hour for 15 bucks? Huh? Yep, a really steep price. When people point out that usually paid DMs that won the amount of money would offer pretty long and involved games, so he changed the duration of the sessions to 90 minutes. Wow, so generous. Also, he offered me to join the paid game, not for free mind you, still wanted me to pay despite being offered, and I declined him saying that no, I think TTRPG game systems should be available to most amount of people, and paid games is the opposite to my philosophy. And finally, the thing that made him earn the badge of lolcow. The dumbest meltdown I saw probably in my life started with users on a server saying that 15 bucks for 90 minutes was still too expensive, to which he replied that what other DMs do in 4 hours, he does in that time by not letting his players ask questions while in the game. Come again? Yep, you heard it right. He wouldn't allow any questions in his sessions, not even if you had a doubt with something, because that would break the immersion, quote unquote. And yes, the sessions he uploaded on YouTube had all the players not ask questions at all. Not ask questions? Wait, hold on, whoa. Okay, hold on. So just for context, right? Let's say the most innocuous questions out there. Hey DM, how deep is the hole in the ground? How high up is this cliff ridge? The enemy is flying and they're 30 feet away from me, but because they're flying, can I still reach him with a javelin? Hey DM, can we have a short rest? So you're saying that all these questions that I just asked, very innocuous, simple questions, were just not allowed? Just at all? When people said the DM's job is to respond to the player's question, gamers said the questions are for before and after the sessions. Asking questions in the middle of the session is for war games. Huh? And in the middle of saying that, he reminded everyone that he was a professional DM. But the breakdown started when he asked this simple question. Do you ask questions to the game master? Before I get to the rest of it, yeah, of course you can ask questions to your GM or DM. Because as a player, sometimes you're seeing something, maybe you're asking, hey, what do I see? Can I do this? Can I roll this? Of course, you ask questions because one of the biggest tenets of playing in a TTRPG game with other people is communication. You can't exactly communicate if you can't ask DM questions about, hey, can I hit this guy with Eldritch Blast even though he's around the corner? Can I throw javelin up there? Is it normal or disadvantage from this distance? Can I hop down off this cliff? Can I climb up the table or do I need to roll? These are very normal, simple questions. Very normal parts of playing a TTRPG is asking the questions for the DM for clarification or for a reminder or to make sure that, hey DM, do I see this? Do I recognize this? Very simple questions to ask. How are you just not able to ask these sort of questions? Of course you should be able to ask questions. And vice versa, DM should be communicating, asking questions to the players for clarification. What is this DM about? The answer was yes. And one user pointed out that asking questions is a way of letting players know everything about the system and the style of game the DM wants to run. And Gamer, in his great wisdom, said he doesn't. The questions while playing are prohibited because you would break the magic of immersion because he obviously knows about TTRPGs. This guy's a fucking hack. Professional, break the level of immersion, the magic of immersion. If you can't ask questions, you can't communicate during the game. And if you can't communicate during the game, then what are you supposed to do? Maybe make statements? Are you supposed to just make statements? Are you not allowed to make side statements and everything? What are you supposed to do then? If you don't know what's going on in front of you and you can't ask questions, let's say for example, right? You find yourself on a bridge, right? And the middle of the bridge looks precarious because it's a little broken down, right? But there's a bit of a gap to get through, but you could probably hop over it, maybe. You don't know. So you ask the DM, hey DM, could I try to make the gap? You can't even do that in this fucking game. You can't do that. You can't ask him. So what are you supposed to do? Just be like, okay, I'm trying to make a gap. And then it says, oh, but you can, and you fall down. Oh, great. Well, I couldn't ask a question about if I could try to make the gap or not, and you never got to give me the fucking answer because you don't allow me to ask questions. Very simple questions, DM. Why am I not allowed to ask questions? Or is that a question? Can I not ask this question? What about this question, DM? Can I not ask any of these questions? This is the most asinine DM ever. This guy's not a fucking lowcow. He's a stupid fucking idiot. This is the worst type of DMing that I've ever seen. The worst kind of DM ruling. Not letting your players ask questions during a session. When communicating and asking questions about what you see, what you can do. Can you attempt this? Can you attempt that? Is this possible? Is that possible? Is this like a crucial bit? This is the most crucial bit of playing in a TTRPG, for fuck's sake. What is this DM talking about? Someone else said to him that a DM with patience and experience would listen to the questions and answer them, regardless of when they're asked. Gamer had none of that, saying, if you want immersion, you should ban questions. You know why? Because the game master and the players don't exist in the fiction of the game. I crap you not, he literally said this verbatim. My tiefling blood is boiling right now. Okay, I get it. The players and the DM don't exist within the actual world of the game. I completely understand you and I agree. But you, DM, and your players do exist. Either at a physical or virtual table. Y'all are physically gathered around your Discord or your table or whatever you're using, and you're communicating and playing the game in that moment. In that very moment, not only do your characters exist in this fictional world, in this fictional universe, but y'all are physically there at a virtual or physical table or whatever the hell you're using, playing the damn game. To not let your players ask questions to make sure that the characters make ample and smart and logical and reasonable decisions is stupid. It's extremely stupid. And just because y'all don't exist in a fictional world doesn't mean y'all don't exist in the actual table. Players are allowed to communicate and ask the DM. This should be allowed to communicate and ask the DM, what's going on? Can I do this? Can I do that? Because it's kind of like the important core mechanic of the game, the communication aspect. If you don't want to communicate with a DM, play Baldur's Gate and have everything just be automated that way. No communication is necessary. You just click buttons and that's it. That's all you do in Baldur's Gate. No questions are required. But what about if your characters want to ask questions in game? Is that allowed or is that not allowed? Because if that's not allowed, that's some grade A bullshit. Jesus Christ. He said he has 27 years of experience. Are you kidding me? 27 years of experience? And this is the conclusion he comes up with? All right, DM, come on. Your DM card. Yep, yep, it's revoked. Give me your DM card. Thank you. I'm gonna keep it here for now. Your DM card is revoked. Because if this is the conclusion you come up with after 27 years of DMing, you are a fucking idiot. You are literally brain dead. If you find yourself in a game with this DM or a similar DM, fucking run for the hills, because this is some grade A stupidity right there. And that he knows better than every other DM on the server, that he appreciates his players, and that's why he doesn't break their immersion, challenging one to describe a scene for Jack the Fighter, so you can demonstrate that you can get all the information needed without questions. That good players and DMs never ask questions, not even while creating a character. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. This guy legit wants everybody to be a mind reader and pretend to be like a mind reader. Is this task that he's talking about is nigh impossible. Imagine you joining a game. The DM says that like tieflings aren't like gonna be a thing in the world because, you know, maybe he has some sort of plot point. Imagine if the players couldn't ask, hey DM, can I be a tiefling? You can't ask that question. You can't ask that question. You're just supposed to know that you can't play a tiefling. Unless he wrote it down somewhere beforehand, some sort of preamble, like a Facebook post or a play-by post or some sort of looking for group post that this is the general rule. Let's say he didn't put that down. How would you know? Or maybe let's say, for example, he doesn't allow artificers. And you decided, man, I really want to make a tiefling artificer. But how would you know if you can't ask the question, hey DM, are artificers allowed? You can't ask that. You can't ask this question. And the DM can't say, hey, what are you playing? Because DMs can't ask questions. DMs can't ask questions and players cannot ask questions. Nobody is allowed to ask questions at all whatsoever throughout the entirety of the in-game campaign. Wait, never mind. He did say apparently out of game you are allowed to ask questions before and after the game. But even then, if you can't ask questions, if the DMs can ask questions to players mid-game and players can ask questions, how are you supposed to run it? This is an impossible task. It's both DM and players being the Sisyphus trying to push a rock up the hill. It's a pointless task. This makes no sense. Calling people out saying, then learn how to play, that playing a TTRPG is like interpreting a character in a movie, many other things that can be summed up as that he didn't defend his own arguments, at all, and he thought that he won the discussion. One user sent a meme of Minion, yeah, the one from DreamWorks, dropping the mic when he finished with the discussion, as Gamer just wasn't being constructive at this point, and Gamer retired to lick his wounds. But has he finished? Oh no, he wanted to do that again. However, this time people completely ignored him, something that he didn't like, as he insisted on arguing more, outing himself as an extremist gatekeeper. As an admin left the right opinion that isn't impossible to do a good session without asking questions, something that revealed that Gamer was blocking people that didn't agree, and he couldn't block him because he was an admin. Yeah, big pussy move right there, pal. He kept going. People do ignoring him, but Gamer kept going more and more, earning the title of lolcow with his insistence, until one of the owners of the server had to block the channel temporarily so he would stop. After that, would you think he would get players to rip him off from his 90-minute sessions on that server? The answer is a big fat no, because after that, Gamer would abandon the server to never come back, most likely butthurt. So yeah, moral of the story is that you should listen and let your opinions be your own opinions and let your players ask questions, even if that would break your immersion. I completely and utterly agree with you. Part of TTRPGs is the big communication factor, as you and the DM and players and stuff and everybody at the table, a virtual table, a physical table, communicate back and forth about what your character does, what do they see, what do they encounter, how they like to approach it. It's an important part of playing these TTRPG games. The communication aspect is so crucial. If a DM tells you that you don't need to ask questions, run for the hills and don't interact with them. Please do ask questions. Ask all the questions you need, especially if you're a new player or just communicate with each other, y'all. Ask questions. It's okay to ask questions. And with that, that's gonna be all our stories for today. I want to thank you very much for watching, and thanks so much for being here. If you like what I do, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. Also, if the RPG Horror Stories ever goes down, or if you want to submit your own personalized horror story, email is down in the description below. I'll see you again in more Tales Tomorrow. Bye-bye.